Abhishek. Abhishek, you call yourself Starters CFO. Uh, how do you help startups?
Yeah. So as a CFO, see these startups, as rightly mentioned by Arnav, so we can call it startup. Anyone who is starting up a business is a startup. But because of this internet era, although the startups are growing like anything, we can see that there are companies which have become unicorn in 4 years, 5 years time period. There are companies who have touched team size of 1,000 people, 2,000 people in such a small span of time. So when a company starts, it's not possible for them to hire a full-time CFO, which may cost anywhere between 40 lakh rupees to a crore rupees in a year. So therein what the starter CFO come into picture, wherein we manage their accounting, taxation, compliances on one part, and side by side we give them strategic advisory in terms of what should be the valuations, who are the competitors. If you are an education technology startup, so what multiple Baiju has raised funding, or what multiple Vedantu has raised funding, or what kind of shares we should issue to the investors, like CCPS, equity shares. Similarly, there are other things like employee stock options, etc. So these are few finance terms which are very, very much relevant for startups as compared to regular SMEs. And that's where starter CFO comes into picture.
Excellent. That's a great piece of advice, Abhishek. Abhishek, a lot of startups that we deal with, so we help a lot of startups in their IP. We help them in their patents, trademarks, and other areas, primarily IP. Now, a lot of since we deal with a lot of deep tech companies who are filing patents in the US and in India. A lot of them have started having a US as their main, let's say, parent company, and India as a branch, India as a subsidiary of the US company. Is that advisable by you? If yes, why?
Yeah. So see, majorly the companies which are really reaching heights and which has global scalability. So we can see that most of them they are either incorporating in US or they are going to Singapore. So it depends on what kind of investors generally they have on board. So if there are investors, like if there are US investors, so they prefer that a company should be in US, and so that all the patents, all the things are protected over there, and it gets global recognition kind of thing. They don't want to be a part of legal issues at the other parts of the world also. And then if the investors are more from Asia and Southeast specific regions, then they prefer to incorporate in Singapore. However, with Startup India, the 10,000 crore rupees fund which government has issued to VCs as alternative investment funds, so they promote that these companies remain incorporated in India. They do not go outside India. So there are a lot of clients which have got funding from VC funds out of the government fund of fund scheme. And then the condition on this AIFs is that the company should not move outside India. So of course, from if we talk about global scalability point of view, so of course the parent companies, if they are incorporated in US or they are incorporated overseas, so that gives more investor approach and the higher checks to these startups. But at the same time, if we are funded from, we are taking advantages of the Indian government scheme, then yeah, we have to be in India. Other than that,
Excellent.
there are many companies like who are operating in US or in Dubai and different areas, and they have their backend teams which are being based in India. So this is a very common thing which we see, that all the development team is based in India, and world is the market for these companies.
Fabulous, Abhishek. That's a great tip. I think we will talk a little more detail about government funding that is happening in India for startups in the session later.